come on in, come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
And we bagging it bit, bagging it bit, bagging it bit, bagging this bit. Yeah, we bagging this bit, bagging this bit, bagging this bit, bagging this bit, bagging this bit. Yeah, we bagging this bit, bagging this bit, bagging this bit. What you thought? What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Okay, I'm back. And I'm here to talk to y'all about weekends on O. Okay, now we're gonna do family or fiance. We're gonna do put a ring on it, and baby, put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. Could have went last. Oh no, not the graphics not being right. God damn it. Just when you think you're ahead of the curve, y'all. Just when you think you got all your stuff in on time, you end up making a mistake anyway. Give me a moment. But we're gonna talk anyway. So I told you guys last week that Love and Marriage Huntsville is going to be exclusive content only. And I meant that shit. Okay. But what I am going to do, because I sincerely with y'all, okay, is I'm gonna give y'all like the first part. Like I'm gonna give y'all my first, part of my notes, okay? And that's like whatever the last episode left off on, this one starts off with. So we'll do that. And then after that, I'm going to get off. And then everybody that is a Patreon and a member will see the rest of the review. Okay. That's what I feel like is fair. And it also will bring, more people to Patreon. Okay. So that is what I want to do. And I hope you guys will enjoy nonetheless. I hope y'all will, show up on... I hope y'all will show up on Sundays like y'all always have. But I can't put a gun to your head, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like I said, we're going to start with family or fiance, but I have to reload these. See, look, now they're there. Now it looks good. Okay, sorry, you guys. Mistakes made while rushing. Babe, please don't forget my coffee. Please don't, because, I need it. I need it in my life. I want it in my... But come put it in my life. I'ma keep it in my life. Okay, and then Love After Lockup. So I still have to, watch Love After Lockup. So, y'all gonna get that. I just don't know when. Because I was really hoping that my husband would take me to the shooting range today. So we'll see how that all plays out. But y'all know y'all gonna get it, okay? Y'all know you're gonna get it. So don't worry, okay? Because we do have to talk about Deontay's meltdown, child. Poor Deontay. I felt so bad for him, okay? He was in there. He was losing his mind. He was so upset. Oh, goodness gracious, y'all. But anyway, y'all, how y'all doing on this good Sunday? Child, let me tell y'all as I wait for more y'all to come into the room. Child, yesterday, my mama made me go to church. I said I was going to go, right? So, go to church, okay? Go to church. I was a little late, but I got there, all right? Switched over to the comfortable shoes because it felt like it was going to be a trial and a tribulation. Being late, you can't click-clack through the church. When you're early, you can click-clack. You can't click-clack when you're late and everybody's standing up and they reading, right before the sermon. So I came in right before the sermon started. So I sat there, I was there, but that's why I have such conflicting. It's very hard for me to listen to things that are said without my mind doing the logical thing. Which is to analyze everything that's being said, even though I get the energy. I normally love church for the music, the songs, you know what I'm saying? Really, get in my spirit and affect me in a way that I feel like is the desired goal for when you go to church. You know what I'm saying? And this Saturday service did not have the full choir, so I was a little upset, but they did give me something. Okay, they did give me something. Miss Veronica was there to give some songage. And I was there for that. Okay, it was beautiful. So after we go in the hall, it's supposed to be like the karaoke game situation, right? For the young adults. Child, they ain't never had no young adult shit. Everybody was just grown back in the day. It was either the kids or you was grown. There was no in between. But now they need an in between out this, right? So they want us to come and be involved. And a lot of us used to be involved like in everything. I was involved in everything in church. You know what I'm saying? Like we were always there. And obviously some more than others, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like not there for a lot of the trips and stuff they did. But I feel like it was because my daddy was like, yeah, nah, she ain't doing all these trips. She'll be there when y'all do stuff here. She ain't going on all these trips. We go on trips. I need it to be trips that I'm there for. You know what I'm saying? That's how my dad felt. So I didn't do that. But we went and we started looking through pictures. And that was kind of like, oh, and I found like this picture of my niece when she was like in preschool and it was like adorable. And then we started playing cards. You know, somebody broke out Twister. And then I found out I was 130 pounds. Whoa, okay, because for some reason there was a scale. I don't know. Just a lot of random shit going on. But either way, it was a really good time. Okay, it was a really, really good time. The card game was off the chain. we had fun. We had a good time. But anyway, okay, in my life, I was so annoyed that I had to go because I was tired and I wanted to go to sleep. And my mom called me, are you going to church? Like, man, I'm going to church. Oh my God, Jesus. But yes, I did make the 130. The thing about the weight thing is that it wasn't even really a goal to be 135, but I knew it was the weight that I looked the best at. So I kind of in my mind shot for it, but I don't really weigh myself like that because it's a trick, especially if you're in a process of losing weight. It's a trick to constantly be looking at a scale. It'll mess your head up. It'll make you feel like you're not making progress when you actually are. So I don't weigh myself often, which is why finding out I was 130 when the last time I weighed myself, I was 137. It was like, whoa. But I work out a lot. You know what I'm saying? I work out a lot. A lot. Okay, so there's that. But yeah, y'all, be kind to yourself. Someone was like, hey girl, you lost weight yet? And I'm like, so you're on my Instagram video, on my workout video, and you're asking me, have I lost weight yet? I don't know. Tell me, what do you think? Because I feel like people can look at videos from like a year ago and see the difference in my face and my décolletage. Like, come on now, I'm giving you décolletage. You know what I'm saying? Like it just seemed like it seemed like a half read. Y'all. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, I'll say please. Y'all love to half read me. I'll be seeing y'all. But we about to get famous for fiance. Okay, I felt like I needed to sit in there for a moment. But thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Y'all know I'm stupid. Now, you want to say giving collarbone realness. I'm dead. All right. So, Vanessa and Mitch. Y'all, this was a very interesting episode. I don't know if y'all were like watching because I know a lot of y'all don't watch Family or Fiance like that. But you kind of should, especially if you are a fan of my Iyanla reviews, okay? Because Family or Fiance definitely gives you the Iyanla effect, where you have people coming to an expert of some type, Tracy, in a situation, and asking for help with the family situation, which of course is, in some ways a pathology. They don't go as deep as Iyanla, but they definitely bring a lot of things to the surface and show you a beginning, middle, and an ending on this shit. You know what I'm saying? So Vanessa's mother, Jennifer, doesn't know Mitch, doesn't really like Mitch because she thinks that Mitch is broke. Also, Vanessa has done a terrible job of translating her relationship to her mother, who is extremely invested in her life and in her relationships, like to the point where she feels like it's a reflection on herself. And that's what Tracy had to get Vanessa and her mother Jennifer to understand this episode, that ma'am, you are trying to live through your daughter, and it is not sustainable. It's not healthy. It's not okay. Okay, so the mom is right here. And the thing that made me upset is that she was giving Lynn Whitfield from Tyler Perry's Family Reunion. If y'all have seen that movie, okay, child, uh, Lord, that was one of the movies that got me through right after Katrina. Like, I remember I was so depressed and I went to go see that movie, and it really did uplift me. I always be grateful to Tyler Perry for his, content at the end of the day, because it definitely hits home at moments for people. It's not always and consistently what it need to be, but it definitely gives. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that being one of the like pivotal parts of that movie, was Lynn Whitfield's character being so obsessed with not being broke again and not struggling again like she had with two children, that she was living through her youngest daughter, and basically making her daughter be with a man who was beating her so that they could both have financial stability. And it was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It was really ridiculous. I mean, of course, Tyler Perry has to mix so many different terrible stories into one character. So she also allowed for the youngest daughter's father to molest her oldest daughter, because that's what he required in order for them to be taken care of. Now, it's not that terrible, but I definitely felt Jennifer doing that same thing to Vanessa. And at first, Vanessa seemed to be almost defensive of her mother. By the time we got to the end of this, I feel like she finally was able to shed this persona that she puts up for her mother. And I think that that is so oppressive, to grow up trying to live in someone's ideal of perfect. Like, nobody's perfect, y'all. I hate saying that. I hate saying that because I feel like often that gives people the room and the license to not try, to not, do better. Like, oh, nobody's perfect. Like kind of what Martell's mom and him will often say when they're making excuses for his behavior and how hurtful he's been. Oh, nobody's perfect. Like, that doesn't make this shit okay. That doesn't make this so okay. And I love that Tracy said to Vanessa at some point, just because this isn't right doesn't mean you didn't add to the problem. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into it. But that was such a pivotal moment for me, because I feel like people often be like, well, I don't deserve this, even though they played a part in their own pain. And no, you don't deserve it, but that doesn't change the fact that you still played a part and why you're hurting right now, why you're in this messed up situation right now. Mitch is a silent killer, though. I was patting Mitch on the back this entire episode because he maintained calm when I feel like Jennifer was going out of her way to be disrespectful and demeaning to him. And if I was one of his family members, I probably would have cursed her out. I probably would have called her every negative name I could have thought of. That funky, dirty. Okay, look, hair store, bag, wig wearing bitch, no good and goddamn well that she ain't shit and she should be happy that somebody want to be with a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit you do when you be defending your family. Just saying all kind of fucked up shit because you hurt and you upset that they going at your baby like this. You know what I'm saying? And if it was my people, I probably would have felt away because she was doing a lot. She, at the beginning of the episode, she was acting as if she had no sense whatsoever. Okay. And for us to get to the end of the episode and her have this come to Jesus moments, it almost seemed unreal. But I also think it's because they have to cut a 3-day situation down to size. And I think we missed a lot of the conversations that might have been happening, because one of the main issues for his family was he has a stepdaughter that he sees as his daughter. And neither Vanessa nor Vanessa's mother want to accept that daughter as his. That was problematic for me. Y'all know that I don't like that. Like their family was like, it doesn't matter that that's not his biological child. He's been in that little girl's life since she was 3 years old. She needed a father figure. He was married to her mother. He helped raise her. That is his child. He sees her that way. That should be respected. It is very problematic for me when people think the only thing that matters is DNA. Because I feel often that people say that, but the truth of the matter is when the child actually is theirs, they still don't do what they're supposed to do. They still don't show up the way they should. Responsibility is responsibility. Love is love. And at the end of the day, I think sometimes it's very insane and kind of psychopathic the way men can like separate themselves from a child. Y'all know I'm always watching Paternity Court, right? And niggas be in a relationship with a lady, got several other kids with her, and want to argue about this one kid. And then it comes back that that's their kid. And they didn't spend this whole time creating this separation between them and that child because they just made it up in their mind that that child, well, she always trying to put another baby on me. Sir, y'all have 2 other kids. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like even if a child is somebody's biological child, you probably don't want it that way anyway. And that's why you're making that an excuse. And I think that that's exactly what it was, because she didn't want to be a stepmother anyway. And her mother told her not to be with a man that had a child because she wants Vanessa to be the child. I said, what the is going on here? That does not make any sense. That's not realistic. What are we talking about here? A relationship is not supposed to be a parent and a child. It's supposed to be 2 adults in a relationship being together, loving each other, and equally benefiting the other person as much as they possibly can. Because sometimes I think in relationships, there are often times when one person is giving more than the other, and you kind of go through these cycles of that. And sometimes it's a little bit, and sometimes it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. All right. And I feel like these types of women, because of whatever trauma they've been through, they want unbalanced relationships to make up for the imbalance that they experienced. Okay. At the end of the day, the fact that she thought this man was broke and didn't have any money. And when they sit down, we find out this man actually owns 3 homes. One of them is already paid off, and he owns a security business. Why does your mother think that this man is broke, Vanessa? You live in delusion as well. That lady raised you in delusion, and you live there as well. She don't have no other siblings. The purple hair lady is her cousin, and this lady right here is her friend. Her friend has more sense than her mama. You know what I'm saying? Her mama was just outlandish and crazy to me with the way she felt about her daughter. She even said she was like obsessed with her. And I'm like, no. Okay, it does not need to be that way. And I think it's very unhealthy. And it's something that we need to get out of as people, in this idea that when you have a child, there's supposed to be a mini version of yourself. That sometimes happens, but it's not a ego situation. Like, having children is not just about creating another version of yourself. It's also about raising a person to be solid in who they are and who they have shown up in this world to be. Okay, like making them confident, sure of themselves, and having the capability to take care of themselves, and being as much of a good human in this world as they possibly can. That is what you are supposed to be focusing on when raising children, to me. Not instilling in them that they need to make sure that they find a man to take care of them. How about instilling in her to take care of herself and love herself enough to not be with someone who won't take care of her? It might be a skin thing too, because when she kept touching that terrible ass synthetic looking wig she had on that was pulled too far down, I was like, mama lives in a place of delusion. Vanessa even spilled her tea all over the table. She was like, my mom struggled. My mom didn't have a lot. She hasn't accomplished a lot in her life. So she feels like I'm her only accomplishment. The fact that you understand that and you still allow her to dictate your life, girl, that's such a scary place for me, because I feel like you're not raising her to be able to think, process, and act upon her own feelings and emotions. She is not supposed to be living her life based off of how anybody else feels, not even her mom. That's not how any of this works. Sorry, y'all. That's not what this life is supposed to give. Because then what happens when the parent is no longer there? How do you sustain yourself when you created a human being? How does your child sustain themselves when you created them to be so codependent on you, when you know that you will probably exit this life before they do, because that is the way it is supposed to be designed to happen, unless something terrible happens, which it often does. You know what I'm saying? Not me. I'm sorry, but y'all know what I'm saying. People lose their kids. That's why, that's the unnatural thing. That's how they say it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. I feel like you're supposed to bury your parents. It's terrible. That's what I mean. It's terrible. But like, that's how it's supposed to be versus people losing their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how it's supposed to happen. So this shit was toxic, man. This shit was mad toxic. And the daughter felt so I don't know, in a fog to me. She just seemed so like in a fog. And I just thought it was weird that she had not expressed to her mom the good things about him. The only thing she had really told him was that, the only thing she had really told her mom and her family was that he was a cheater. Every time they would get into an argument, he would go and cheat. And then, they get back together. And then he cheated with some stripper at some point. And I was just kind of like, if you were going to continue to get back with him, why do you keep going telling your mama that shit? Why do you keep doing that? Then she was previously married, and she was married to a man who had a lot of money. Okay. And when she said a lot of money, she was like, I'm expecting us to be making a few $1 million a year. That's what she's expecting. I'm like, I hope you add into that pot. She does say that everything that she wants, she can afford for herself. So I trust that is the situation. But I also feel like that type of pressure is just sometimes ridiculous a little bit, just a little bit. I feel like people should always have their dreams and their aspirations, but to put that on another person to the extent that even though they're doing well, and that can be a possibility for them because they're already doing well, but it's not exactly where you want it to be right now. Like, to put that type of pressure on a relationship, I don't know how a relationship could sustain under that type of pressure. Like, ma'am, he already owns 3 homes. One is completely paid off. He owns a business. It's not like he out here asking you to pay his bills. So their understanding of him was so weird. But the cheating thing, he was making excuses, but he's a cheater. He's a cheater because he wants to be a cheater. I think he very much feels demeaned and disrespected in their relationship. And so he goes and fucks with other women as a way to deal with that. And that's not a good thing. They should probably not be together. Okay. Because he can't be faithful. And that's what she requires. Okay. He also really isn't happy with the way she pressures him. That's why he's always running, I think. I think that he's not completely happy in that relationship. That's why he's always running. But on the show, he's calm, he's patient. He tells her that whatever she needs him to do, he will do because he is so content and happy in their relationship. If that is the case, why do y'all break up ever so often and not talk for months? For a whole month, or for weeks and weeks at a time? That's a lot. That is a lot. Okay. I also did not hear when the situation with the daughter was situated. Vanessa says that she doesn't want to be a stepmother because she doesn't have the bandwidth. And the fact that you have a mother-daughter relationship with your own mother, but you don't have the capacity to show that love to another child, that shit is weird to me. That shit is weird, and that is problematic to me. That you've been shown that type of love, but you don't know how to show that love in return. That means to me that in some way her mother was not emotionally supportive. Not emotionally supportive at all, which is why she doesn't know how to be that. Okay? So you might have been a mother, but you were just putting your expectations of perfection on her. You poured into her what you wanted her to have. You didn't pour into her what she needed. And that is an issue when you're a mother. And I think that that's something that she needs to look at within herself, because even though she sees her daughter as her greatest accomplishment, she in some ways failed her. And that's hard, but that's what it looks like to me. I'm sorry. Just a little bit. When you can't reciprocate love to the child of a man that you say you love, something's wrong there that you need to get in order on the inside, as far as I'm concerned. She said that she tried in the first few months of their relationship, but that ship has sailed. So I don't know why later on everybody's talking as if that had been rectified, because to me, I didn't feel that it had. Um, the mom putting a picture of Vanessa's ex-husband and her on the coffee table was so disrespectful and out of pocket. I was just like, why was that necessary, ma'am? I want to remind her. I want her to go back to her ex-husband because he took care of her and blase blase. Well, obviously she wasn't happy with him. And she did speak highly of him, but I feel like she was speaking highly of him through the my mom says this about him filter in her head. Nothing is coming out because of the way she thinks and feels. Because obviously you aren't happy in that relationship if you are no longer in it. And now you want to be with this man that has less than that man. Obviously the money isn't as important for you as it is for your mother. Be real and say that, honey. Like, be a grown ass woman and say that. You know what I'm saying? And she had a really, really hard time having an honest conversation with her mom. I feel like at dinner they talked and it seemed as if her mom might have thought that they had never had sex or kissed. And her mom was like, well, our relationship is forever changed. I think her mom likes to put a lot of weight and guilt on her like mothers do. But this guilt is backbreaking on the temperament of Vanessa, because Vanessa is not built to constantly withstand her mother's negative reactions to her. She's not built for her mom to not be happy with her, because her mom has not made her in that way. She's not made her an independent person. So when she cried, y'all, about having to have a conversation with her mom, I'm going to have to deal with this when I get home. I'm going to, that's because her mom is going to like emotionally browbeat the shit out of her about anything she says during this process that her mom doesn't agree with, because her mom has probably done that in the past. This relationship is so unhealthy, y'all. That's so unhealthy for her to do that to her daughter. Like, to me, it feels like your own mother isn't even a safe place, because she will use your mistakes against you to guilt you into being what she wants you to be. And that shit is fucking scary to me, to not really have a safe place in your one parent, you know what I'm saying, that you rely on, right? So Tracy tells Vanessa that she needs to realize that she helped create that issue with her mom when she kicked Mitch out of the house and then ran to her mom with her problems. So now your mom doesn't trust your judgment. It's because of what you have told her about Mitch. Tracy asks, how much does Jennifer affect their relationship? And Vanessa admits that her mom influences her a lot. And it probably influences the amount of pressure she puts on Mitch, which, like I said, is why Mitch is always running from their relationship. And Tracy also explains that Jennifer sees Vanessa as a mirror image of herself and feels a way whenever Vanessa isn't perfect, because it's a reflection of her own self not being perfect. And Tracy wants, Vanessa to sit down and have that conversation, and she's scared that she will be disowned. And Tracy is like, if your mother isn't accepting you for who you are, she's already disowned you. I said, boom. The shit you're scared of has already happened. It's already happening. So you don't have to live in fear of it, because she's already treated you in this way that you're scared she's going to do it again. But you have to like create some type of independence from her, to which that is not an issue for you. Like it's bothersome, but you have to be able to love people from afar, even if they are your family, even if they are your mother. If they aren't healthy for you, you have to have some type of distance, because you are your own person at the end of the day. And you have to be able to trust on your own intuition and not always rely on somebody else's. And anybody, to me, that weakens your trust in yourself is a threat in my mind. They talk, and she tells her mom that she's not perfect. And she gives an example of what if she was pregnant for Mitch. And her mom says, I would be very unhappy and disappointed if you were. And Jennifer said, she asked her, she's like, well, are you? She's like, no, I'm not. She was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Okay. But Jennifer says that with now understanding that Vanessa feels all this pressure, Vanessa is not happy. Vanessa does not want to continue having a relationship like this with her. Now she understands it and she's like, okay, I will take another look at Mitch. I will, back up a little bit because I did not realize I was living through you and trying to control you in that way. I just want you to be happy. I kind of didn't realize I didn't feel it was real. I'm gonna tell you, I feel like she said what she thought needed to be said, but I don't know if I felt like I believed it. And even if she meant it in the moment, I feel like once they got home, she would go back to doing the same things that she had done, which is, basically running her daughter's life, man, basically. Vanessa and Mitch have a conversation amongst themselves about the trust issues. And he says that, she can trust him. And he apologized to her in front of everybody and to the family for what he's done. And says that he will try to make sure that she is at the forefront because she is his fulfillment, so to speak. Okay, he's fulfilled with her. And I was just kind of like, then why you always, never mind. Anyway, I said that already. Why you always fucking other people if you so fulfilled? Tracy talks to Vanessa and Mitch and tells Vanessa she needs to think of the pressure her mom puts on her when she decides to put perfection pressure on Mitch, which I think is really good. And me, myself, whenever I put, I say I put myself in other people's shoes, like I really do try to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But there are just some things that don't affect me the way it affects other people sometimes, I guess. The hard talking is one of those things like that. That don't always bother me like that, but I do read a lot into the that people be saying. You know what I'm saying? I do. But anyway, everyone gives their blessing, including Jennifer's crazy ass. All right. But when they get home, there's another breach of trust. And they stopped talking for a month. So now everything is on hold. And Vanessa's mom attempted to be respectful of their boundaries, but now she regrets giving her blessing to them during the blessing ceremony. Child. The mama ain't changing. Mitch ain't changing. I think Vanessa is going to have to run away from everybody and just go find herself somewhere. Like, I think that would be the best thing ever for her to detach from her mom, detach from Mitch, and go take all that fucking makeup off her face and, relax, release. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was a really good episode, and I think it was telling of people who do live through their kids and how that is unhealthy. I also feel like it's telling of women who I think have unrealistic requirements of men. I do think that men are supposed to be protectors and providers. I absolutely do, and it's because I was raised by one. But I also watched my mom own her own business and very much was a, independent, take care of myself type of woman. But if I'm going to be with a man, that he is going to provide and protect me. And he's also going to be a helpmate to me in my business the way I am a helpmate to him in life. Child, we're going to have a conversation on Relax with Blue about, how, I forget, what was it, the 85 Street, whatever the fuck, the Instagram post with that man talking about how, he pays for everything for women, but a woman can't buy a man. And, he can buy everything a woman can provide. Child, we're going to have a conversation about that on Relax with Blue, because that's a real good topic for me to curse somebody out about. Okay, because he sound crazy. All right, you sound crazy, sir. You sound like you have a lot of unresolved mommy issues that you need to deal with, honey. Okay, and Mitch needs to deal with why he is a liar the way he is. He is a very good liar. Mitch is a very good liar, you guys, because he really comes off like a good guy. But the truth of the matter is you have some type of sex addiction or some shit going with you. Because if you're not fucking with the same girl over and over again, you are actively going out to fuck with several different girls every time y'all break up. Get it together. Get it together. Please get it together. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next show, you guys. But before we do, there are 404 of you in the room. I'm happy to see you. Okay, I'm glad you're here with me today. And I'd like for you to like my video. Okay. Hold up, y'all. This is not right. Hold up. Let me put it up. I'm gonna put it up. There you go. Are y'all liking the video? Did y'all like the video? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? Okay. Hold up. Let's fix it. Yeah, I had to pull myself down a little bit. Okay, so as I've explained to everyone, I will be doing a snippet of Love and Marriage Huntsville at the end of this review. If you are a Patreon or a member, you will get a link to the live that I'm going to do that's just for us. Okay? So just want to let you guys know that if you are not a member of Patreon, you will still get some of Love and Marriage Huntsville right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into put a ring on it because, bitch, this right here, right here. Okay? First of all, the way sis was hitting on her straw during their sit down, child, I was just like, oh, Lord, that straw is going through it. That straw is getting sucked for their life. Okay? So let me go ahead and pull up my notes. And then we can get into it. Then we can get into it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cheers to closure, B. Okay. So y'all, at the beginning of Put a Ring on It, we find out that Sean is going on another date with what is her name? Tari? I don't know why though. I think she's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous. She has really great energy. But I don't like I often wonder what Sean's motives are when he decides to go on dates. You know? Like, are you going on the date because you want to go on the date and you're going to fully engage in this process? Or are you going on the date to piss off Lorenza? Because sometimes it feels like he's going on the dates to piss off Lorenza. Okay, that's what it feels like to me. But either way, Sean is going on a date with Tyree. We find that out. Dr. Nicole wants folks to prepare for the marriage and not just the wedding. So they need to have conversations about how they envision marriage to be. Okay, so in the car on the way home, Sean and Lorenza argue about how Sean has been in this process and how she's really frustrated with the way he's been in this process. He's been very like passive aggressive and low-key manipulative about this bitch. Okay? Because like I said, if he chooses to go on a date, he will sometimes do it to either make Lorenza mad or to, I guess, just go along with the process, but then not fully commit to it, not fully engage. You know what I'm saying? And it's because he has fears that he will sleep with whoever he likes. Because in the past, he has not been able to be faithful. So he doesn't want to fully engage in the process, but it shows that he doesn't trust himself. So if you are then put in a situation later on down the line with someone who you really like and you're in close quarters or you work with them and you like them or you're attracted to them, are you not going to be able to trust yourself? Am I not going to be able to trust you? You need to get to the bottom of that now so that's not something you have to worry about later. Sean gives me, I like whoever likes me. Yeah, and it may be like that too. You know what I'm saying? It may be like that too, but I definitely feel the manipulation going on with Sean. You know what I'm saying? He isn't sure how to manage himself when attracted to another woman, and that is problematic. Okay, so you guys, since Eric is always giving Jessica a hard time when she goes on her dates, she decided to give him a bit of a rough time as well. Okay, so Leilani comes over to pick Eric up for their date, and Jessica asks Leilani what she does for a living. And you know, Jessica is looking good. She got a bodysuit on, giving y'all everything. And Leilani was surprised at how beautiful she was. Oh my God, you didn't tell me how pretty she was. Yeah, he didn't mention that she was cuter. Okay, anyway. I said it, whatever. I'm just saying, it's my observation, it's my feeling, it's how I felt. Okay. everybody else can have a different opinion. But if we asking Bondi how she felt, I feel like his old lady was a little cuter. Okay, both women beautiful. Jessica's a little cuter. Okay, sorry. All right. So, like I said, she was surprised. Jessica was like, "Bitch, what you thought?" Okay, like that. And I was like, "Yup." And I was like, "She's pregnant." In the confessional, two different confessionals. She's pregnant. I saw it. I saw the little bump right here when she had the braid. I definitely saw that. Yep, saw it. And so they get into what Leilani does for a living. She's into skincare. She does facials. And Jessica says, "Oh, okay, so you can do a couple's facial for us." And she's like, "Well, I could do his facial and then he can make you an appointment." She was like, "Oh, no, see, I make the appointments around here because I do everything around here." She was doing multiple things at one time. She was letting her know, "Bitch, I run this, I run him." And also, she was letting her know that if you did have him, then you would be doing everything. So trust this, it ain't even all that. Okay, that's the vibe that Jessica was giving in the moment. And Eric is sitting there giggling and shit. And he's like, she's never act like this before. I don't know why she's so uncomfortable around Leilani. I guess it's because she's so beautiful and fine and everything. I'm like, why is that what you niggas like to run to? Like, women are always so insecure when we don't have to be. Like, everybody isn't insecure, sir. Like, not in the way you think. Like, a lot of the times it's not about the woman. It's about you. For real, for real. Okay? And to be clear, Eric, you know that Jessica often mimics what you do. Okay? So if you make a big deal out of something, she's going to in turn be petty, do tit for tat with you, and give you that same energy. And that's what she's doing. So I don't know why you acting like you don't know what the hell is going on here, because this is what you guys do. This is you guys' cycle. Okay? Goodbye. Okay, then Jessica brings out her shot glasses with her in her bikini on it. I was like, "Bitch, you better give everything on them shot glasses. I'm gonna go get me some shot glasses made with me on it, because bitch, I'm fine like that too now. So I'm gonna be like, yeah, put me on a shot glass, okay? And it's gonna be a back shot, but it's only gonna be for me and Larry. But anyway, I might sell it to the Discord. Anyway. Shot glasses with the back shot by Bondi. That's too much. It's probably a little bit too much. He probably won't be comfortable with that. But anyway, yes, they take shots out of her little shot glasses and then they proceed to go on their date. We're gonna come back to them. Zarian and Alexia have a conversation about what the expectations of marriage are. And Zarian says that he and Alexia are in a much better place now. And it's because he stopped messing around with Heavy Booty Kai and has been putting all of his attention and time towards Lex, which has made Lex happy. Also, he told Lex he would give up the condo. So that made Lex happy as well. All right. Darian says that the only reason he would marry Lex is to make her happy. And I'm like, dude, that is not why you marry someone. That is not a good thing. I would be so upset if I were told that. I don't want you to marry me because I want to be married. I want you to marry me because you want to be my husband. You dumb ass. Like, what the are you talking about? Like, what the are you talking about? Are you serious? Like, why would you think that that sounds good for you to marry me because I've pushed you into a corner or forced you to do it? That's not how any of this is supposed to go. It's not, okay? She wants communication. She says family is all that matters to her, but she wants more support from him. He says that he didn't really get great role models as far as marriage is concerned, and he explains that his grandparents were married for a long time, but were in a very abusive relationship. Like, it sounds as if it was physically, emotionally, and mentally abusive. And a lot of people, till death do us part, toxic, fucked up relationships. That's why people think it's okay now, because y'all saw y'all parents and y'all grandparents fighting and fussing all the damn time. So you think that shit is normal, and it's not. It's not. Okay. It's not okay. What are y'all saying in the comments? Hold up. I agree about the hairline. He's also still holding on to wanting to NFL groupies who don't want him anymore. I think so too. I think so too. Child, we're going to get into it, okay? We're going to get into that hairline. So Dr. Nicole and Jessica have a one-on-one about how to get Eric to trust her again. And Jessica talks about having to be on the defense all the time with Eric because when she grew up, she, had to fight a lot. fights a lot in her neighborhood. She was light skinned. She had, the softer texture of hair. So she got bullied a lot. Y'all try to act like colorism doesn't work both ways. And and then there's always a story like this to compete with the other side of things. And I just want to point that out because I've had these conversations and people will tell me how wrong I am, and I'm like, I would like to know what the fuck to call it when somebody's skin tone and hair texture affects the way they are treated, and then they are bullied or made to feel bad about it. Because what do we call that? Let me know. Put a word down below. Do we, what I'm saying? Like, what do we call that? Okay. I just feel like there are different spectrums and different levels to most things, but you can still call a thing at the end of the day. And I feel like Jessica was explaining very much growing up as a victim to, colorism. And it probably shapes the way she feels about brown skin or darker complected women her damn self. And it's why she's always on the defense, even in her friendships. I mean, that was another thing she and Dr. Nicole discussed, is like how guarded she is and how she has built relationships with other people because they also have those same type of trauma. So they have trauma bonds. That's not healthy. Jessica needs to deal with that. She needs to deal with her anger. She needs to deal with the issues that she has. Because it is definitely affecting her relationships with other women and her relationships with men in a negative way. And I would really like to hope that she isn't imparting negative stereotypes about skin tone onto her daughters, because she does have two teenage daughters. And these types of things are generational, and these types of things are taught. And then they just keep going like some vicious fucking cycle. And I would really like to hope that this process will help her deal with that, so she doesn't give those same anger issues or those same ideals about color and all of that type of stuff to her kids, because you can very much get defensive and feel like all brown or darker skinned people are mean and hateful or whatever because of what you experience. You could definitely adapt that and then treat people badly, what I'm saying, going forward in life. Yeah, anyone who is viewed as different is usually bullied. Yes, absolutely. I just want Jessica to sit down and be single and learn to love herself and heal, but it seems she's pregnant, so I don't see that happening anytime soon. Exactly. And that's what's disappointing, is because you see that somebody needs the time to figure their own shit out, but they don't see it. And now they have something else that requires another person. So they really not going to be able to create that for themselves unless they really want to. And it's going to take time now, because now you have another person that's going to need you in a more a deeper way now. You know what I'm saying? So you're definitely not going to be able to put any more attention into your own growth, because now you got a new baby that needs more of your attention. You know what I'm saying? Than your teenage daughters. But Dr. Nicole also makes Jessica realize that she and Eric are the same and do very much tit for tat shit. And just like she feels like he doesn't trust her, she doesn't trust him. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are doing the same thing to each other, and y'all both need to learn to communicate and recognize when y'all are exhibiting the same toxic behaviors and going tit for tat and being childish and not handling your relationship like adults. Like, you have to fight the urge to want to do that. And you have to be honest about your emotions. It's very hard to do. But instead of going straight to, let me react, let me do to him what he's doing to me. Instead of doing that, go to the place of, this hurts right now. The way you talking to me hurts right now. The way you handling me hurts right now. And I'm just going to back away from this situation because my feelings are hurt. Okay. People don't know how to deal with when you don't give them anger, when that's what they're trying to get out of you by gaslighting you. And I often feel like Eric gaslights the fuck out of Jessica. Okay. Oh, he is not. He is cutting the grass in the rain. Oh, all right. I'm sorry if y'all hear that. Wait, no. What's that, Greg? I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what that was. So moving along. Sean and Tari go on their date. And he's trying to get to know her, and they're eyeing each other. And it's like real flirtation. It's really good conversation, really good energy, a lot of laughing and joking. She talks about how she has dated many cheaters in the past. He talks about how he was a cheater in the past, and how he is trying to learn to be able to be around women like herself who he is attracted to without going there. Okay, so he's trying to learn how to control himself as an adult. Okay, then we got Eric and Leilani on their date, and her energy towards Jessica was very like competitive. I almost feel like she was mad once she saw how beautiful Jessica was. So now she like, whatever, I'm not responding to her with that pettiness and all of this. Like, oh, you're gonna try to act like that lady beneath you now. When really the truth of the matter is you walked in the door and saw what was really going on and your face was cracked. Okay. And now you're trying to recover because you feel in a way because you obviously are one of those women that feels the need to be in competition with other women all the time. I mean, y'all kind of are in a competitive situation, but that doesn't mean that's the way the energy needs to be, divvied out. I feel like that's that same energy that Kai has. Y'all have a very man eater type of situation going on. So I think in order to compete with that, she started to pour the affection on. And when she touched the one part of his head that had the hair on it, like she knew not to touch this part because this part a little bald. Don't touch this part. Don't touch nothing up here. This is where you normally want to touch a man on the head, like in this area. No woman is trying to touch a man like right here. Just real close right here. You gotta stay right here because if you go right here, it may not be nothing there. I want him to let it go. I want him to LIG it. I want him to let it go. You are not doing yourself any favors, my good sir. And then we can see it from the back to front, like, and it's almost in the shape of a maxi pad. It's like, dude, you have a wingless maxi pad space in the top of your motherfucking head. Do us a favor and correct that issue and stop holding on to your football days. You are not that man no more. Grow up. And if that means breaking up from Jessica and this hair, do it. Do it. Instead of sitting up here flirting with this lady like you do all of the other women. I mean, I want somebody to call you out on how you consistently do the same shit in all of these dates too. All of this base level, surface level flirting and shit that you do. And then you big it up to Jessica to make her feel like shit about it. When really, at the end of the day, my dude, you the same with all these bitches. Ain't none of these bitches special. Because you doing everybody the same way. Miss me with that. Anyway, y'all. So Dr. Nicole talks to the men. And Sean says that Dr. Nicole has forced them to deal with the toxicity in their relationship. And he needs to deal with his own personal issues that he has. And I'm glad he realizes that because that's very much needed in this situation. Eric asked about how sometimes it's hard for them as men to deal with the women telling them to man up. And Dr. Nicole says that's inappropriate and that, you should say, hey, I have feelings right now. I have some emotions I'm going through, but I am a full man and I'm a man in this moment to say I feel away. And you need to step back and recognize that I am a human being with feelings. And then we get into the conversation of how, a lot of, especially young black men, but boys, men, period, are taught that they should not have feelings, which is fucking ridiculous because I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying not to curse so much, which is ridiculous. Okay. Because people have feelings. That's all we are is feelings. Everything is us feeling it. Okay. Touch. Okay. Sensation, emotion. When you hear things, like everything affects your feelings. It's a matter of managing those feelings. That's what I think it's about. And I feel like that's the thing about this society. It doesn't teach you how to manage your emotions. It teaches you how to act like they aren't there until you can't act like they aren't there anymore. And that's problematic because black men often feel the pressure of that the most. To not have emotions, to not say how they feel. It's unhealthy. It's unrealistic. And it does not serve you at all. It serves no one. If there is a woman ignorant enough to tell a man that he's not supposed to have feelings, then that's a woman that doesn't need that man. And she needs to figure that out on her own. Okay? But I don't want us to also act as if when women tell men to man up, it's not also because y'all always lack accountability. Society is made up to go along with his story. Okay, that's just the way it is. Like men just have more validity in this society, right? There's a lack of accountability because of that. And in the black community, because of racism, there's a lot of lack of accountability because of that. So at the end of the day, there are a lot of reasons why black men are able to get away with things that women aren't allowed to get away with in their relationships. And it's unfair. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when people, when women are telling men to man up a lot of the times, it's like, man up to your responsibilities, take accountability, do what you have to do, regardless to how you can feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like women often have to do that. We have to do things like take care of things even when we're tired, handle things even when we don't want to, because we are the mothers, and it's also society wise what is expected of us to always be in a place of service to somebody. And I feel like that there has to be a balance in that, a balance in not making you feel like less of a man, but also in being able to tell you when you are absolutely being less than the man you should be. Okay. And women are always trying to balance the fine line between how to express that too much is being put on us, and also how to be supportive for what Black men experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's this balance that we're always trying to, like, deal with. And a lot of times we just kind of be like, man, fuck y'all in that balance, man. Suck a dick. Figure it out for yourself. Okay. Sometimes that's the approach, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of times we be holding on and sticking beside them and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving on from their feelings about that, Darion says that this process has brought things to surface in, his relationship that they really weren't dealing with, but that he allegedly did not know about. And that's what I don't believe. Darion, you are not going to sit here in front of Dr. Nicole and the rest of these men who are being honest somewhat. I feel like Sean was being extremely honest. I feel like Eric is full of shit. I feel like Darion is delusional and believes his own bullshit. When he said in the confessional that she made him seem like a narcissist, no, nigga, you are a narcissist, okay? And you explained, and really, honestly, I feel like you explained perfectly why you were a narcissist, because everything is about you. Everything is about you and how you feel, and you move based on how you feel, regardless of how that's going to make Lex feel. Okay, that's what you continue to do. Okay, you want your relationship with Lex because there's a comfortability there. Okay, you love what she provides for you. So at the end of the day, you do want to keep her, but you also still want to do whatever you want to do, including fucking heavy booty Kai. Okay, that's why you did that, because you wanted to. That girl was giving you all of that energy. I think they on the first date, if you ask me, that first date, I think they, which is why after that, all of that affection was going on. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all. Darion says that Lex saying that if she doesn't get married or engaged at the end of this process, that they're not going to be together anymore, is unfair. And he needs Dr. Nicole to help them figure that out, help him deal with her saying that, because he doesn't feel like that's fair for her to just throw away 14 years of a relationship because I won't marry her right now. I feel like we need to continue to work on issues that we have, and da 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 da. And I'm just like, nigga, you on bullshit, and we all know you're on bullshit. Okay? You are on bullshit, and we all know that right now, in this moment, my good sir, you are on bullshit. And I love the fact that Dr. Nicole called him out on it and said, sir, I am not here to convince you that your delusions are real. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to let you know that if Lex doesn't want to continue on this cycle of unbalanced toxicity, she has every right to get the fuck off of it and exit stage left. She has every right to, sir. You do not have the right to make her feel bad or prohibit her from doing so. If you feel a way, that's fine. But this is the truth of the matter. After everything y'all have been through, that's the reason why she has the right to get up and walk away, because she's already given it everything she got. And you're still thinking about you and how to validate your feelings. He's very much like Martell in a way that I feel like he was still looking for Dr. Nicole to give him a reason to feel like Lex was wrong for not giving him the affection or giving him the time that he wants. Like, no, you're not entitled to that if she no longer wants to give it, because she feels like the relationship is not balanced in the first fucking place. So you're like, oh, she wants me to actually give her something that she wants? No, I don't want to do that. Dr. Nicole, tell her I can't do that and she shouldn't be making me do that. Like, that's what he was saying, basically. Okay. And then when she leaves, Sean asks how serious he is about their future. And he says that he's getting rid of his high rise condo that makes bread. If all else fails, that was somewhere he was going to be able to stay when she kicked his ass out. And now he don't even have that. So that's what he's doing. And I was like, that's a cop out. That's a cop out and that's some bullshit. Get a regular studio and not a fucking condo. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with us. Okay? You've been playing with Lex for a while, but you ain't about to sit on up here and play with me like this. Okay? Because I think it's all foolishness at the end of the day. I think it's all foolishness. Darian meets with Kai, y'all. Big booty Kai come and sit down with an issue and a problem and an attitude because it has been 10 days since they talked. Okay? He says that because he is now mending his relationship with Lex, he is there to let her go in person out of respect. And she like, how you gonna say you respecting me? How you gonna say you respecting me when you ghosted me for 10 days, ain't say nothing? Okay, you could have at least hit me up once and let me know what was going on. But see, you ain't care about my feelings. That's why you ain't let me know what's going on. Because all you cared about was trying to keep her from finding out that we had sex. Because did she know we had sex? I was like, I mean, I said they had sex, y'all. I could tell they had sex. I could tell. Okay, I know what we fuck look like. Okay, I know what it looked like. Okay, and that what it looked like. Okay, to me. And he was like, that is not going to help my situation. So no, I do not want to tell Lex that we had sex. Okay, my situation is peaceful right now, and I want to keep it that way. And she was like, but y'all always had issues. Y'all been had issues. It wasn't just me. Y'all had issues already. He was like, yes, but those issues are getting better since I have been focusing on Lex. And she was like, so you're not gonna tell her about all the great sex we had? I said the great sex. Not the great. She said the great sex. I said not the great sex. It was in the great sex. She said, you ain't care about Lex feelings when you slept with me. All that great sex we had and the great sex. I was like, not great sex. Not great sex. You know they had great sex. You know why they had great sex? Because they didn't have great sex. They knew if they either went to her place or they was in a car when they fucked. But I feel like it was some like immediate shit. I feel like it was some end of the date, immediate. They went back and did that shit, and they probably after. I want to know how many times, Kai. I also see that there's beef going on between her and Lex on social media. I want to know how many times the sexual interactions happen, Kai. I want to know. I'm interested. Good girl. Please come talk to us on the Ooh Ladies First panel. We would love to hear what you have to say about this season because, honey, you have been one of the main sources of entertainment for us. Okay, you and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you've been giving. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk. I want to know how many times. What was it like? Is it as impressive as I think it is? Okay, because I think the victimization is real. Okay, but my whole thing about Kai, sweetheart, listen. You can't get mad if you get played like a soybean burger bitch when you played yourself like a soybean burger bitch by thinking you were going to in fact steal somebody's man. Let me let all y'all know something. You can't take a nigga that don't want to get took. It's not about you if he can get took. Okay? It's really not. It's about him. It's about him if he can get took. Because a man that's not gonna cheat no matter who's throwing puss at their face. They're not gonna take it. They're gonna be like, no, I'm all right, no thank you. That's all right. You good. Keep that. You know what I'm saying? But somebody that's gonna do what they gonna do regardless, which let you know what was, he was doing ahead of time, let you know you ain't special, bitch. You ain't giving out no special coochie, bitch. That's not what's going on here. Everybody think they coochie special. At the end of the day, it's special to who it's special to. And it needs to be more special to you because you played yourself when you gave that much of yourself to him in the first place because he was never yours and you knew that. You knew ahead of time that he belonged to somebody else. You knew ahead of time that he was working on a relationship that he has with her. Regardless to what he's doing with you, regardless to what the situation is on your end, you know he goes home to her and he has been going home to her for 14 years. So if you feel like he played you when he decided he couldn't fuck with you no more, then you played yourself when you fucked him in the first place because you knew his situation. Okay? You knew his situation. and you knew it was a possibility that your put one gonna be able to snatch that nigga soul. That don't always happen. You don't always snatch a nigga soul. It don't always go down like that. Sometimes it's just real good sex, and you gotta leave it at that, my good girl. But you can't ever expect for you to be so great that you gonna steal on somebody, man. No, that nigga could be stolen on. That you ain't special. You are not special because he can be stolen on. That's some shit with him. I said what I said. And that's for all y'all, sideline hoes that don't know how to play y'all position. Y'all end up playing yourselves when you know what the situation is, and you're requiring more than he's willing to give. See what I'm saying? That's why it's best not to, have overreactions. I get it. You won't fuck with him, you're gonna fuck with him, all right. And then you end up getting all your feelings in it because his dick touched your heart. That often happens, okay? And then it's okay, you're getting your feelings, but you know what you don't do? You don't get on social media and argue with his main bitch. That's what you don't do. And you damn sure don't get all upset and irate and try to spray him with the shit that you knew was supposed to stay quiet. Once you understood that he wasn't about to leave his old lady for you, like that was ever really a thing he promised you or some shit. Girl. She don't know how to play her position. That's a problem. And that's another reason why he ain't talked to her for 10 days. It wasn't just because he was focusing on Lex. It was because he knew he had to put her on ice because she was doing too much. I mean, listen, you can apply it to whoever you need to apply it to. Okay? But the advice remains the same. Okay? So, y'all, we're going to go ahead and transition into Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm going to give y'all a little snippet, and then I'm going to exit and go ahead and go over to have this conversation with just my members and my Patreons. Okay? So, y'all go ahead and like this video and prepare yourselves for us to get into it. But first of all, let me go ahead and send. Child, they didn't flag my good stuff already. So look, if they didn't flag me already, so that means it's gonna be private, y'all. Once I'm done with this live is going to be on private until they put it back up, and then I will put it back up. Okay, just so you guys know, if it disappears on you and you haven't gotten to the end like everybody else is live, just know that. Okay. So I'm about to post this link for my Patreons and my members so that y'all can come in to the private one. Okay, posting it for the members. Now I'm going to the Patreon account and I'm posting it. This is also advertising for my Patreon. Okay, because I give you quality content. Fuck with me. Yep, that's how I feel. Okay, listen. All right, link. Okay. What's the problem? Oh, all right, y'all gonna do me like that. Well, I'm putting it in the description, and it's in there. Okay, all right, and I'm pinning it. Okay, so I did that. Everything's prepared for you people who pay. And now let's get into it for everybody else. Okay, so that's not the right one. This is it. Okay, we're gonna start here. All right, let me pull up these notes. Y'all, why is that stuck? You're making the move. From the encore stuck in my head. You're making the move. Okay, y'all, I'm done. Anyway, so the episode started off where the last one left off, which is with Tiffany showing up to spray everybody's information, including Monster vaping in the bathroom down to the school. Thank you so much, Bruce, for the super chat. Pete, I appreciate you. My mouth. Okay, listen. All right, so Tiffany is spraying the information, right? She's talking about Monster vaping, and then she brings up how she confused Destiny with another woman that LeBaric was with when he was getting an award a couple years ago. And she isn't sure. She was like 3, 4 years ago. And apparently Kimmy and Mel remembered this award ceremony. And they were like, no, it was less than 3 years ago, sweetheart. And Destiny is still, kind of going through the emotions of a divorce. So she runs to the bathroom to collect herself. And one of her real friends goes in there to check on her. Mel, what happened and why are you being passive aggressive towards Destiny right now? Because I absolutely feel in this moment that you knew Tiffany was going to give that information, because she's like, was he a cheater? Okay, that's what we need to know. Inquiring minds want to know, because if he wasn't a cheater, then it could have just been a business partner or anybody. You know what I'm saying? But was he a cheater? Is the question. Okay. And the way she was driving that home, I was like, ma'am, you absolutely knew that she was gonna spray that tea. And I almost felt like you was doing it to hurt her. I ain't gonna lie, Mel. I need to understand this, sis, because that's what it looked like in this moment, that you was trying to force her to talk about cheatations in her marriage that she obviously was not ready to talk about. Now, here's the thing. I did agree that she did not need to run to the bathroom to collect herself in that moment. Okay. Like, she needed to, but she didn't need to. I didn't like what it looked like. It felt like it had done more damage than it should have. And it also makes me feel like, why are you withholding information from everyone? Why is that happening? I don't know why that's happening, but I really do feel like she's withholding information from someone who she claims is her friend, who is freely giving up information to her. But she should have checked Tiffany. She should have shaded the shit out of her and moved on. But she should not have let it be shown that she got to her in that way. And I also didn't like the fact that everybody just act like what Tiffany did was okay. I felt like Tiffany was very callous and didn't give a fuck, and almost seemed like she had some issue with Destiny prior as to why you would see fit to embarrass somebody like that or make somebody feel bad and then be like, oh, like she had to run off and get her feelings together. It's her party, so I'm gonna let her cry if she wants to. Like, but girl, it wasn't like, no, bitch. At the end of the day, she is just getting a divorce, and you don't know what her emotions are. You don't know her, so that means you're not entitled to her feelings. Okay. I mean, truth of the matter is, Mel isn't even entitled to that lady's feelings if she don't feel like giving them. This is a birthday party. This was not the time or the place for you to bring that shit up in that way. You were trying to be seen on this show because you wanted to become a permanent cast member, and I'm sure at the time you didn't know if you would be, so you wanted to make sure to come with the tea you had to spray it all over the table so that you can make the splash. And Mel was aiding you in doing so and probably told you what you needed to do in order to become a main cast member, which is why she was co-signing much of this ignorant ass conversation. But I was happy to see that Kimmy and Destiny have formed quite the bond. I do like that. I very much am enjoying that. Okay. But that's all I'm going to give y'all. If y'all want to see the rest of this, then y'all going to come on over to my Patreon, or y'all going to become a member. All right. And don't cheat me. Okay. Don't pay me one time and then try to come. And I don't mean everybody that's paying for the whole year. I see a lot of y'all paying for the whole year. I appreciate y'all. Okay. But don't be trying to cheat me. Okay. I'm not that expensive. And you know you love me. So just make sure you come on, come on over to the Patreon side of things. I love y'all. And I will see y'all in the next one. Okay.